Chapter 4: The Builder's Legacy. Chapter 4 takes a deeper journey into the ancient civilization known as the Builders. Across chapters 4a, 4b, 4c, and 4d, Zandor uncovers the history of the Builders, the meaning of the Guardian Path, the secrets of the hidden observatory, and a legacy that will become increasingly important as the story continues. Want the complete story? Watch 4a to 4, b to 4, c to 4d. This is the complete Chapter 4 experience and contains the full Builder and Guardian lore. Prefer the faster story path? You do not need to listen to every part of the Builder history before continuing Zandor's journey. For the essential story, we recommend Chapter 4a to Chapter 4d to Chapter 5, Part 1. You can return to 4b and 4c anytime to discover the deeper history of the Builders, the Guardians, and the hidden observatory. The Frontier Archive continues. Previously in the Frontier Archives, humanity's last frontier peacekeeper, Zandor Ironheart, answered a mysterious distress signal from the forgotten world of Kheros. There, he discovered the peaceful Ashari, whose crystal civilization had survived in secret for generations while the Dominion prepared to claim the planet. Guided by the living mountain, Zandor uncovered the first traces of the long-lost Builders, an ancient civilization whose greatest legacy was never power, but the preservation of life, memory, and hope. As the Dominion occupation tightened around Kheros, the mountain awakened and called its guardian home. The recovered record continues. Scene 22. The legacy begins. Every civilization leaves behind monuments. The greatest civilizations leave behind questions. Frontier Archives, Archaeological Records.
The Frontier Archives. Recovered audio log entry 016. Classification declassified. Archive reference Fey Hawk 016. Location Western Crystal Mountains. Planet Kheros. Event the first morning after the awakening. Status verified. Historical record.
Morning return to Kheros. Not as another sunrise, but as the first dawn of a different age. The eastern sky slowly brightened beyond the crystal peaks, washing the shattered valleys with pale gold light. Long shadows stretched across broken forests, where towering crystal trees had stood only yesterday. The fires had almost burned themselves out. Thin columns of smoke drifted into the cool mountain air. For the first time since the Dominion fleet crossed the heavens, nothing exploded. No Dominion dropships crossed the sky. No orbital lances carved rivers of fire through the clouds. No warning cries echoed between the mountains. Only silence, not the silence of fear. The silence that follows a question too large for anyone to answer. The Ashari had never feared silence before. Silence had always belonged to Kheros. It lived within the forests, flowed beside the rivers, and rested upon the mountains beneath the light of two moons. But this silence was different. It carried memory. Yesterday, the Dominion had come to conquer another forgotten world. Yesterday, the Ashari believed they understood the home their ancestors had protected for generations. Yesterday, Zandor Ironheart believed he had come only to defend innocent people from an impossible enemy. Yesterday, everything they believed had changed. Today, Kheros had begun revealing the truth. The crystal storm had vanished with the night, yet its passing had transformed the planet. Blue rivers of living light pulsed beneath the mountains. Crystal formations glowed softly from within, as though invisible sunlight flowed beneath their surfaces. The forests shimmered with colors no Ashari painter had ever captured. The rivers reflected symbols that disappeared the moment anyone tried to study them. Nothing looked repaired. Everything looked awakened. Across the western valley, survivors slowly emerged from shelters carved into the cliffs during the long night. Some carried tools, some carried blankets, many carried grief. Children who had hidden in silence only hours before cautiously stepped into the morning light, uncertain whether it was safe to laugh again. Parents gathered broken possessions from ruined homes. Elders embraced those who had lost family. No one spoke loudly. Even ordinary conversation felt out of place. The Festival of Two Moons had once filled these paths with music. Crystal lanterns had hung between the trees while children ran through the gathering circle. Now fragments of those lanterns lay scattered across the ground. Broken instruments rested where frightened hands had abandoned them during the bombardment. The Dominion had not merely attacked the Ashari, it had interrupted the rhythm of an entire civilization. Yet life refused to surrender. One family cleared fallen stone from a neighboring home before repairing their own. Another shared the last of its food with strangers. Young Ashari carried water to elders too exhausted to stand. No one ordered them. Compassion had survived the invasion. Perhaps that was why Kheros had chosen to protect them. Far beyond the valley, Dominion patrols watched from distant ridgelines. Black silhouettes stood motionless against the morning light. Their weapons remained lowered. Neither side advanced. Neither side fired. Both waited because neither understood what had awakened beneath Kheros.
It looks different.
Kyle stood beside Elder Karam, his eyes fixed upon the western peaks. The fear that had filled his voice the day before had changed. It had not disappeared. It had become curiosity.
It is different.
The old elder rested both hands upon his crystal staff. Morning light revealed how tired he truly looked. Ash clung to the hem of his robes. His hands trembled slightly, not from age, but from everything they had witnessed.
I have walked these mountains for nearly 80 years.
A faint smile touched his weathered face. Not because he understood what he saw, because he finally understood how little he truly knew.
And today, I understand I have never truly seen them.
The words drifted across the gathered refugees. No one answered. Every Ashari felt the same truth. Yesterday they had believed Kheros belonged to them. Today they wondered whether they had simply been its guests. A short distance away, Luma stood quietly apart from the others. She had not moved since sunrise. The singing crystal rested between her hands. It floated effortlessly within a soft halo of turquoise light. Its glow no longer flickered. It pulsed with remarkable precision, not randomly, like a heartbeat.
Has it been doing that all morning?
Yes,
It isn't making any sound.
it doesn't have to.
Kale circled slowly around the floating crystal. The light reflected across his face in shifting shades of blue and silver.
I still don't understand.
I don't either.
She smiled softly.
But I don't think it expects us to.
The crystal rotated slowly, one complete revolution, then another. Elder Karam watched in silence. Every lesson he had inherited and every fragment of builder history passed from one keeper to the next had spoken of crystals that sang. None had spoken of crystals that waited.
When did it begin floating?
Just before the sun came up.
And it hasn't stopped.
No, it doesn't want to touch the ground anymore.
Karam looked toward Zandor. The former peacekeeper stood near the edge of the ridge, studying the western mountains. Something about him seemed different. Part of his attention appeared fixed somewhere no one else could see.
He feels it too.
Feels what?
The same thing your crystal is following.
He's just looking at the mountains.
No, the mountains are looking back.
A strange stillness settled across the ridge. The breeze vanished. No leaves moved. No birds sang. The entire valley waited. Then the singing crystal brightened. Its turquoise glow expanded outward in a perfect sphere before collapsing back into itself. Every crystal formation within sight answered. One after another, tiny points of blue light awakened across the valley, the cliffs, and the distant peaks.
It's spreading.
It was not spreading. It had always been there. For the first time, they were able to see it. The western mountains answered. A single line of blue light appeared high upon the cliff face, then another, then hundreds more, perfectly straight, perfectly symmetrical. They crossed the stone with impossible precision, not cracks, not rivers, patterns. There, everyone followed his gaze. The mountains were changing, not breaking, opening.
Why couldn't we see them before?
I do not believe we were meant to.
The old elder stepped toward the edge of the ridge. His entire life had been devoted to preserving the oldest stories of the Ashari, stories many had dismissed as myth. Now those myths illuminated the mountains before his eyes.
Our oldest song spoke of sleeping light.
You mean the builders?
We never called them builders.
You didn't?
No, our ancestors called them the first keepers.
The first keepers.
They came before memory. They came before the Ashari. Our oldest stories said they built nothing.
But they built all of this.
No, they awakened it.
The word settled deeply within Zandor. Awakened, not constructed, not conquered, not owned. It was the same language the vault had used. Nothing the builders touched seemed newly created. Everything seemed remembered. A warm pulse spread beneath Zandor's boots. The sensation traveled upward through his damaged armor. The thin blue energy lines woven into the graphite plates brightened without command. It's reacting.
To what?
I don't know. But somewhere beneath thought he already knew. The mountains were not reacting to his armor. His armor was responding to the mountains. For a brief instant, images flashed across his mind. A city unlike anything he had ever seen. Crystal towers rising beneath unfamiliar constellations. Countless figures walking through halls of blue light. Knowledge flowing between them like music. Then darkness. An empty city. Silent corridors. Waiting. I've seen this place.
What place?
I don't know. The vision faded, but one certainty remained. Whatever waited beyond those cliffs had known him long before he came to Kheros. Luma opened her eyes. The singing crystal stopped rotating. For the first time since the awakening, it was no longer listening. It had found what it was waiting for.
It's ready.
What is?
The road.
The earth answered, not with violence, with movement, ancient movement. Stone shifted beneath stone, crystal rose through crystal. Hidden mechanisms untouched for thousands of years began moving in perfect harmony. No grinding, no strain, only quiet precision. The vibrations spread beneath the valley like breathing. The Ashari stepped back. Children clung to their parents. No one ran. The mountain did not feel dangerous. It felt awake. Massive sections of the western cliff slid away from one another with impossible precision. Dust did not rise. Nothing collapsed. The mountain had not been broken open. It had chosen to open.
I've climbed that mountain.
So have I.
There wasn't anything there.
There was.
You said no one had ever seen it.
I did, and now we know why.
The mountains had not hidden their secrets. They had protected them. As the opening widened, a soft blue light spilled outward. It carried no heat, smoke, or radiation, only warmth. Zandor felt it travel through his armor and into him. It's calling.
Who?
I don't know. A soldier could face an enemy. A guardian could defend the innocent. But how did one answer a civilization that had vanished before recorded history? Without realizing it, Zandor took one step forward, then another.
Zandor?
He did not answer.
It knows him.
What does?
The road.
The singing crystal floated higher, its light merged with the blue glow spreading across the valley. Then the valley answered. One crystal after another awakened across cliffs, rivers, and forests. The landscape transformed. Yesterday, Kyle had seen mountains. Today, he stood inside a machine.
Kheros isn't just a planet.
No one corrected him, because no one could. Far above Kheros, Dominion reconnaissance satellites detected the change. Warning symbols flashed across tactical displays. Energy levels climbed beyond every previous reading. Automatic systems attempted to classify the phenomenon. Every calculation returned the same result. Unknown. Aboard the Oblivion Spear, silence had become more unsettling than battle. Every eye remained fixed upon the holographic projection of Kheros rotating above the command platform. The blue energy signatures were spreading, not outward, downward, deeper into the planet itself.
General,
Report.
the planetary resonance has increased another 12%.
12?
Yes, Commander.
The officer hesitated, not because he doubted the readings, but because he feared speaking them aloud.
It appears the activation is accelerating.
Vorak remained perfectly still. Behind the polished black visor, his understanding of the battlefield was changing. For the first time in decades, the Dominion had entered territory where military strength offered no certainty. Not because they lacked weapons, because they lacked understanding. General Vorak approached the central holographic display. Thousands of telemetry streams flowed across the image. Energy signatures, seismic readings, atmospheric disturbances. Every instrument reported the same impossible conclusion. The planet was not becoming unstable, it was becoming ordered.
General,
I see it.
our scanners indicate the energy is organizing itself.
That is impossible.
We believed so as well.
The science officer enlarged one section of the planetary scan. Blue pathways spread beneath continents, mountain ranges, and oceans in perfect geometric precision. Not one terminated, not one overlapped incorrectly. The entire planetary network behaved as though someone had designed it.
We originally believed these were isolated builder ruins.
Hundreds of connected structures appeared across the display. Each had been dormant only hours before. Each was now returning to life.
We were wrong.
How wrong?
They are not ruins. They are components
Components.
of something much larger.
Vorak stared at the holographic world not as a commander, but as a student. For the first time in decades, the Dominion had found knowledge it could not conquer.
Continue observing.
No assault?
No, we advance only after we understand.
Had Vorak ordered another bombardment that morning, history might have unfolded very differently. Far below, Zandor stood before the awakened pathway. Blue light flowed beneath its transparent surface in slow, rhythmic pulses. Years of peacekeeper training urged caution. Every instinct warned him that unknown technology should never be approached carelessly. Yet every instinct also told him the road was waiting.
Do you trust it?
I don't know.
Do you fear it?
Zandor considered the question longer than expected.
No,
Why?
because if it wanted to harm us, it had thousands of years to do so.
Karam smiled, not because the answer was certain, but because it was wise.
Our oldest teachings say the first keepers measured a civilization by the questions it asked.
Not the answers?
No, answers end journeys. Questions begin them.
The road pulsed once. A wave of blue light traveled from the mountains directly toward Zandor. It reached his feet and stopped. The crystal beneath him illuminated. Not around everyone, only around him.
It knows.
It remembers.
Zandor lowered one hand toward the glowing surface. He expected warmth. Instead, the crystal felt aware. The moment his fingertips touched the road, the entire valley answered. Across distant mountains, builder lights awakened one after another. Ancient towers, hidden beneath forests, briefly illuminated. Crystal rivers shimmered. Far beneath Kheros, machines that had waited for countless millennia acknowledged a single event. Guardian contact confirmed. Zandor took his first step. The road brightened beneath his boots. Then he took another. Each step awakened another section of the ancient pathway, not leading him, welcoming him. Behind him, the Ashari watched in complete silence. Before him, the western mountains slowly opened. Beyond them, the forgotten legacy of the builders waited, patient, silent, waiting for someone to finally come home. History remembers wars, empires, victories, defeats. The Frontier Archives remembers something else, the quiet moments, the decisions no one understood at the time, the first questions that changed everything. Because on that peaceful morning, History did not begin with a battle. It began with a single step upon a forgotten road. End of part 1. Continues in part 2.